Hello, Crystal Palace. Welcome to the Upper Norwood Library Hub's Library Live Lunch. This is a place to share positive and useful local information, find out about our community in more depth, and keep us all connected during this time. So my guest today is Allison Bailey, who founded and runs Warrior Fitness on the Triangle. Allison, it's lovely to have you with me today. Thanks so much. Tell us a bit about Warrior Fitness. How long has it been going, and where did it come from?
Okay, Warrior Fitness started, well, as a business, we've been going for 5 years. We got the studio 3 years ago in September. It started because initially, me and my partner Shane, we were running boxing classes for mental health. That's how it actually started. And we were running after school clubs and working with kids company. And we found that rather than talking therapies, boxing was a really good way of kids to talk about their abuse or horrible backgrounds. Wow. And then people would ask us, Shane's already a personal trainer, people would ask me to personal train them. And I was like, I'm not a personal trainer. But I was really enjoying it. So before that, I worked in communications. But Warrior Fitness started because I went through a barrage of stuff in 10 years. Like, my brother committed suicide. I was in intensive care through stress. I was going through a terrible divorce. A lot of stuff was happening, which basically led me to clinical depression. And I basically had a big change and thought, I'm not happy. I want to do something different. And so it was organic. It was really, I started the boxing 10 years ago. I found that was good for mental health. And then I found that training myself was really good for mental health. And so why not? It was just organic, did the course and been training people for over 7 years.
Wow.
So that's kind of how it started.
I do find it really inspirational because you did tell me this story last summer in Blowing Dandelion.
There we go. In Blowing Dandelion, we got with the community, didn't we? To clean the chocolate shop. Neil's chocolate shop.
Yeah, when they were going through a tough time too. So I do find it your story of how you started this, I've always found it very, very inspirational. So it's brilliant to hear about it. Tell us a bit more. It's obviously based around kind of mental health and improving mental health. That's a big thing for you. Tell us a bit more about the sort of aims and ethos behind it.
The aims and ethos of Warrior Fitness is a place, we just wanted it to be a safe space for people, men and women, to come, because not everyone wants to go to the gym and look at themselves in the mirror. And also it's very masculine in the gym, and not all women, they want to train, they want to be healthy and fit. They don't necessarily want to go and wear lycra and have other people looking at them. So our age group really is probably, I'd say 35 upwards. And it's all different types of men and women. You'll have men who come here who don't feel comfortable going to the gym. It's a safe space. We have quite a lot of actors and actresses who come here because they don't want to be seen in the gym. We have people who come for the music and the fun. But also we do really good bespoke programs for people who actually come here.
Brilliant. Just before we carry on, I'm going to say hello to everybody who's watching. So the people I can see, we've got 2 Shanes and Nick, Hester, Lauren and Dennis. So thank you guys for watching, and everybody else who's watching. If you have any questions or comments, please do drop them in the feed of whatever social media platform you're on, and we'll answer them as we go along. So Allison, tell us a bit about pre-pandemic. What were the different strands of what you were doing, because you do offer different types of things?
We were on fire. We had waiting lists. We were thinking about new classes. We were probably looking for a bigger space. We just paid off our setup costs and we were good to go. We just paid ourselves. And then COVID happened. So COVID happened. We were like, are we operating? Aren't we operating? What are we going to do? And everything was uncertain. So that was a stress in itself. Yeah. So pre-COVID, we were doing really well, actually sending people away. We had staff, we had classes in the evening, and we had lots of mums and babies coming in for our baby-friendly classes in the day. So obviously that was so weird. We had to close. And yeah, it was a bit of a shock. The first month I was like, oh, it'll be fine. The government's supporting us, we'll be fine. But that didn't happen. So that was one stress in itself. So pre-COVID, everything was fine. I mean, I can't say post-COVID because it isn't really, is it?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Tell us just before we go into kind of now, because I know there's a lot of things to discuss about right
Yeah.
now. Just
Yeah.
just tell us about the different kind of classes, and you presumably did one-on-one sessions as well.
We did one-on-one sessions. We did 2-to-1, lots of husbands and wives training sessions.
Nice.
We did boxing and conditioning classes. Boxanity, which is music. It's basically boxing to music with your partner and pad holding.
Nice.
And we use headphones because we don't want to annoy the neighbours. So it's silent, like a silent disco. So we did that, and then we were doing that in the park, but we're not allowed to do that. What else did we do? We did baby-friendly classes, core restore, boot camp, circuit training. It's been such a long time. Body burn, which is resistance bands using the frame here. We did that for mums, and we did friendly class for the mums at 10 o'clock. And for the evenings, it was more for the adults after work, and in the daytime and throughout personal training.
Cool. There's a huge variety of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All to keep fit, fit and have fun and feel good.
Good. Yeah. So to tell us a bit about now, because I know it's been a challenge, hasn't it, the last few months?
Oh, it's been a challenge. I had to find the inner warrior because it has been a real challenge. Everything that was promised hasn't happened for us, so we're still sort of waiting for loans, grants. We don't know, since I spoke to you last time, we still don't know how we can operate, whether it's a 2 metre, a 1 metre, whether we'll have to put perspex up, whether we need masks. So it's all this uncertainty for the business in particular. We are actually operating on social distancing, one-on-one personal training. So we are pretty busy with personal training because people don't actually want to go back to gyms because it's probably one of the worst places. So we have to consider that as well, whether we operate as personal training or whether when and if we can ever do classes again, because we don't know.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we're just pushing for personal training or even maybe group personal training, depending on government guidelines, which I'm still actually looking at. So whether we have to wear a mask, whether we can have 6 people in the building, you know, otherwise it's not worth running the classes because we only run very small classes for 10. So that has had a real impact on our business, post-COVID.
And of course, I guess the guidelines are changing as well, aren't they, all the time?
Yeah. So where we thought we could open next week, we can, but under certain provisions, but it depends on the square metre of your premises. So we're sort of working with that. We can operate as personal training, but in terms of classes, I'm not so sure at the moment. And I think that's what the stress is, and that's what the uncertainty is, because you can't get any communication out because you don't know what the message is.
It's very difficult.
That's
and it's
kind of
got
what we're
to
dealing with.
I guess it's finding the balance where you're trying to find the way in which you can comply with the guidelines, but also that it's worth your while financially to actually run the things. And it must be a very difficult balance.
Yeah.
You've been running things online, I think.
We tried. I wanted to keep in contact with the client, so I started doing like little upper body workouts and things like that on YouTube. But then as we got into COVID, I started getting depressed myself. So I was like, and uncertain, and what should we do? Shane in the background was doing online training, but none of my clients wanted to do online training because they like the social connection. And even his clients, after a while, online, they were saying, no, I'm not in the right headspace. I've got the kids around me, and it's just different. I come for my hour of power, I call it. They come here for their space. Like this is what they come here to hear their music, listen, you know, do their workouts. We've got downstairs as well with strength training, and it's just something to do for them. It's their hour. Yeah. So the online didn't work. And what was the other thing? We tried outdoor for a bit, but because they come here for all the big machines that we have, which are downstairs, it's not the same. They're not getting the same experience. Yeah. So that's kind of what we found with post-COVID. And then we also did at-home workouts, but when people came back to the outdoor classes, they said, no, it's not the same. We don't get the push. You can't check our form. We're not feeling the vibe. There's no atmosphere. There's no energy. It's just you in your front room doing a workout. And that doesn't move me at all. It doesn't make me feel very passionate about training people.
It's really interesting, isn't it? How much it's not, and so many. This has come up as such a theme all through that it's not about the thing itself on its own. No, it's always about the other things, the social side and the atmosphere and different space.
Yeah, I mean, how nice is it to hug somebody now? You
Yeah.
know, whereas before it was, oh, I want to hug, because I'm very touchy. So it's just nice to be able to hug once again rather than elbows. I mean, we don't know if it's gone, but you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's been a thing, eh? COVID.
Yeah.
I can see people unraveling.
Yeah.
You know.
So tell me a bit about this actually, because this obviously mental health is a big part of your
What we
aims.
do, yeah. So what's happening in particular this very last month, we're coming into month 4, aren't we? I can see where I thought, oh no, no one's going to come back. They won't have any money. People have lost jobs. I am almost fully booked because I've got new people who don't want to go to the gyms, but all my clients are returning because they can't take it anymore. They say, I need my hour, or I need my 2 hours, and I need to get out of the house, and I need to be away from the children, and I'm working from home, and I'm not stepping out, and I'm going slightly crazy. So a lot of people just come here, and also we are social distancing, cleaning and disinfecting. They just come and just do this. Because it is good for your mental health. You got to work out. It's all that serotonin and dopamine.
Yeah.
You know?
And also under these conditions, I mean, everything you've just said really resonates with me. Just I need excuses to leave the house. So it was such a relief to me when some of the cafes opened for takeaway, because I need a reason to leave the house.
Just to step out. Yeah. It was getting crazy. I mean, we did meet people at Westgate Park. We did have our Sundays. So we took the White Hart outside and we would all social distance with that little speaker in the middle. And, you know, just for that, we walked the dog. Having a dog is very good.
Yeah.
But just to, I wouldn't step out. I was not going out for a while, obviously. And no, it's not, with Black Lives Matter, going off on a tangent, that is more socio-economic. But I forgot to say about that in COVID, with Black Lives Matter and with COVID, it was all a bit much. As a black person, as a black woman, it was all a bit stressful for me.
Yeah. So what did you do for yourself? Because I mean, from an outside perspective, you seem to have turned things round, or at least to have got to a place where you're keeping going. So
I'll tell you what I do to keep going. Well, I had a literal breakdown yesterday. So what I do, I exercise myself. I eat my way to health. I eat a lot of, you know, I'm not vegetarian or anything like that, but it's almost like nutrition. I will check what I'm feeling like, and I'll have like ginger and pineapple in the morning. And I've got time to cook and chop because, well, not now, but in COVID, I was eating well. I was going to Pete's Fruit and Veg and just seeing what he had in the box. And I had time to chop onions and tomatoes and things like that. So we were eating quite well, getting quite fat, to be fair.
You're not alone. Believe me, you're not alone.
Yeah, really. And so I cooked. I did drink quite a bit for a while. I think a lot of people have been drinking. I've noticed that's a real recurring theme. But when I'm feeling really down, do you know what I do? I meditate with even on YouTube, I do chakras. I realign myself with chakras. But I exercise, but I also, for my mental health, I have to meditate. Also, Seth Grove Chemist have been amazing, and Planter. I've just been taking a lot of supplements for your immune system. What else? There are days where I can't, like at the very beginning of COVID, I think you're in shock, aren't you? You can't do anything, you just sit like this. What is going on? Are we in a nightmare that's never ending? No. You know?
Well, it was crisis point, wasn't it, where we just had to kind of just cope as best we could.
For everybody to sometimes just cope. It's shone a light on a lot of things as well. And you've got time to deal with things. Like, for instance, I hadn't spoken to my father for a really long time. So we got a connection on that, you know? For girlfriends who I see in the street and wave to, because I've never got time, because I'm always very busy, we actually have time to sit and talk and do social distance. And so I've really loved that, and getting to reconnect with my girlfriends, because I'm always busy. So that was nice. And actually having a relationship with Shane as well. We're always working. So it's nice to get up, eat, you know, and I think people forget. And if you look at people's faces on the streets right now, no one looks as stressed. I think you might be stressed about money, but people aren't rushing around so much anymore, looking really, really busy. I've noticed that, and I like it.
Really interesting, hasn't it? I'm going to come back to this sort of positives and challenges in a sec. But just before we do, I want to say hello. We've got some more people have joined since I last said hello. So hi to Samantha, Sue, Tanya, and Marty, who are all watching. And also comment from Nick, who is one of my choir members, actually, says,
Okay.
oh my good God, I need to start going to a gym. Too many chocolate chip cookies and moping around in isolation. Nick, clearly
They come and
you
get
need
rid
to
of
move to Crystal Palace.
You need to move to Crystal Palace. We'll get rid of that COVID belly.
Excellent. so coming back to kind of positives and challenges, you clearly had a lot of challenges, but also by the sound of it, found some positives, which is really lovely.
Yeah.
Are there any others on either of those that kind of scales that you want to tell us about?
Positives and challenges. I'm just trying to think. In terms of the business, or?
Well, both really, kind of whatever you want to tell us about.
Positives was the real social connections. The challenges is I've seen a couple of people commit suicide, of my friends, because of COVID and because of me and my mental health, but that's my thing. So that was really challenging. What else has been really challenging? I don't want to be too political, but I've spent a good 3 months bandying together with some of the businesses on this street who didn't get their grant. So that's been very challenging. We still haven't got our bounce back loan from Barclays because they paid companies twice. So that what's been challenging is all the promises that the government have made and actually not delivered. So a lot of people are struggling. We're struggling, you know, a lot of people are really struggling. So there are some of the challenges. I didn't have any of those challenges where people have said being at home with your partner is very stressful because I'm just used to being with my partner. So those things weren't challenging for me.
Well, you're used to working together, I guess, so being in the same space a lot of the time.
That's not challenging. I'm just trying to think what else has been challenging.
Well,
not too much really, because we have because we've got a garden and it's quite on the main, just behind the chocolate shop. People stand and talk to us, so it's not like we've had no social connection. And they'll come and talk over the gate, and they're just like, "Oh, we miss you, we miss the studio, and we miss the energy." So they'll just come and talk to us. So it hasn't to the point where it's like, "Guys, can you call if you're coming round?" You know. So that hasn't been. I think for me, for the business, I think it's just the finances that have been challenging because there are things that we could have done while the studio was closed, like flooring and painting, just to get it ready for a reopening. But that hasn't come. So I have to keep myself lifted. And so when I keep myself lifted, it's meditation, food, good book, movies, audio books. I've found time to do stuff. I do all the gardening. There haven't been days where I'm like, oh, this COVID, I'm really bored. I don't feel like that. I don't get like that, I don't think. I will always find something to do. And if I'm then feeling bored, I'll binge on Netflix or something. That's not really the case. There's always something.
Have you found it's changed your what's the word? It's changed your relationship with your clients at all?
Yes, I didn't realise how much I inspired them.
Oh, how lovely!
I got that. I wanted to cry. I got that. And yesterday, I probably had about. This is before, you know. I probably had about six of my old clients returning, and just I can't do without my Al. I need to come and train. So all of a sudden, I've noticed that. I get insecure, and I would have thought, well, that's it, then the business is over, they're not coming back, but they're all coming back, and many more. So that's been really, really positive. And I think for my clients, they miss their hour of coming in. It's a real lovely space. You come in, I've usually got the music playing, I've got the diffuser over there, and people just like the vibe and the energy.
Do you think this has changed our priorities? I mean, just thinking about
change people's priorities. I hope people have really thought what's really important.
Yeah.
You got a roof, you got running water. Oh, yeah, I know people have goals and things like that, but I think people need to realise that I think the main thing is social connection.
Yeah.
And to be able to talk and touch and I think what I've noticed is social connections. It's a really important thing to be able to feel part of something.
Yeah.
Even for instance, like yesterday, we were all too scared, but we did go into the White Hart, and you could see people's faces change. Oh, this is so nice to be able to drink with my friends, you know, because I've been and ahhing, obviously, because I'm interacting with people. But it was just nice to sit with Don, the old man, and someone on their side. It was just nice, and we did our social distancing. But I've really missed that.
Yeah.
So I think with COVID, I think people have realised how little they actually really talk to each other. And when you ask, how are you? you actually mean it, and you
Yeah.
actually stop and actually listen to the response. And that's been good. And people have been also being a lot more open about how they're feeling mentally.
Yeah.
So I think I might like COVID, except for finances. No, I don't know.
Hopefully it's kick-started some good change anyway.
Maybe, yeah. It's good
Fingers
social
crossed.
change, global change.
Yeah.
I think it has.
It does feel like, I mean, I think we were always pretty good in Crystal Palace with community, sense of community and supporting local, but it feels like that's ramped up hugely.
It has, yeah.
Which is a good
thing. And
thing.
Also supporting local businesses is really important, you know. So I will always go at Urban Sale or go to Reunion and get my burgers and go to the coffee shop, you know. I love Crystal Palace.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a nice little community, villagey community, nice trees, nice parks, and dog lovers. So that's kind of why we moved here. And people like to keep fit.
Yeah. As evidenced by the fact that you're fully booked. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So obviously this is very much kind of COVID and guidelines permitting, but do you have any future plans?
Yay. Well, we've got 3 varying plans. We've got group PT, if we can't expand. So again, this is all the uncertainty. So for those who don't feel comfortable coming to the classes, we're going to try and make it so that, well, depending if we have to have perspex, that we only allow 4 to 6 people in the building. So we have 4 upstairs, 2 downstairs. It becomes more affordable for those who can't afford PT, and then you will train all together. So there was that one, but that again, it depends on government guidelines. So we will be promoting that. That's group PT, or even if it's the same household and 2 other friends, that kind of thing. But we want it so that it becomes a course. So we monitor you on a monthly basis. So it'd be maybe minimum for 3 months, and then you have your goals and you train with the same sort of people. So there's that. Or depending on government guidelines, we will do, I'm calling it the post C19 transformation.
Wow, excellent.
Or both. And that could be online, where I would provide you, I'm not going to do the classes, it doesn't work, but it would be an ebook and exercises and nutrition and checking in, doing your body fat, coming in separately. So there's different variations, but again, got to wait for the government guidelines. Is it 1 metre or 2, or, you know? So I'm kind of waiting for that. But we do have plans like that. We can't plan for the classes, but we're trying to plan in our heads, what could the business look like post-COVID? Because you can't just rely on classes, which was really busy. We've got to evolve or die. We have to evolve. I mean, that's what I kept saying to people. I was like, oh, well, what are we going to do? Sit here and feel sorry for yourself, or try and make something work? Yeah. And if you lose your job, then you're going to have to find another one, you know, or you're going to have to do something.
Yeah. It's been amazing actually watching the level of flexibility and adaptability of all the businesses on the Triangle. And just actually, you mentioned Pete, well, the fruit and veg, they used to be a flower market, didn't they?
Flower market,
and immediately when
that's what I said, what you need to do is deliveries. I gave them a template of what needs to be in the box, and I said just charge £25 and this will be your template of the box. Avocados, and then I said, and then start delivering, because I'm not stepping out. I didn't step out for about 6 weeks, maybe just for a little walk. But yeah, I was in, because I got a garden, so that's okay. But yeah, I was a bit freaked out. I just didn't want to die. You know. Yeah. And I sometimes think people don't really take this thing seriously, because it's still about.
Yeah, I think
to be safe.
And the thing that's really become clear to me, I think, in the last month or so, as things have started to ease, is just how much everybody has different boundaries on it and different, you know, the level that they're comfortable, and the more we've been allowed out, the more the vast difference in our individual levels of comfort is really clear.
Yes, I think. Yeah. I mean, this weekend we went to Hever Castle, because that's the first time you could really sort of go out without feeling paranoid, and it was just nice to see people just out. I didn't feel very comfortable going into closed spaces. I'm still not that comfortable with that. Some people are, but I'm not quite comfortable until the R rate goes down a bit more. I don't know. It's still there, isn't it? People are still dying.
Yeah.
But go
ahead.
But you were right about the varying levels of comfort. And then if you're okay with it, I think some of the people are okay with it. There are some who are completely self-isolating and just not stepping out. Still,
Yeah.
I've got a couple of clients who are now pregnant. They're like, no, I'm not coming out at all.
Wow. Yeah. Well, the only thing you can do is to look after your own space really as best you
Yeah,
can, isn't it?
we
And
do.
just, yeah, brilliant.
Just lots and lots of rubbing alcohol and spray and
Yeah.
20 minutes before the next client, and we're not crossing over. So
Yeah.
either I'm in the building or Shane's in the building. For now, until it changes. It might change next week on the 29th. I'm not sure.
Don't know. Well, fingers very much crossed. And we're coming to the end of our time. So just final, very quick, yes. Final question really is if people are interested in either personal training sessions or the group, when you know what you can offer, what's the best way for them to keep in touch?
I think the best way, they can email, or they just can have a look at the Facebook page, Warrior Fitness London. We've got Instagram page, which I'll try and that's the one thing I wasn't doing, online social media. It was just I didn't want people to see me. Yeah, so I will be reposting on Instagram. We've got a Facebook page. We've also got a website, but we don't want to populate that website yet because not sure what we're saying. So if anything is happening, it will be on YouTube, Warrior Fitness London, Instagram, warrior.fitness.london, or info, everything's info@warriorfitnesslondon.com.
Brilliant. And they can
always shout at the studio.
Look, and actually always you're beautifully demonstrating the logo just behind you, so people can always look out for that on social media, can't they?
Yeah, you look out for that on social media, but if you do a search for us, you'll find it.
Yeah, lovely. Well, it's brilliant to talk to you again, Alison.
Nice
Thanks so much for coming in. Just very quickly before we finish then, two things. One is that today is the deadline for any artists who would like to be supported to produce something on our live stream. Wow. So the information will be in the social media feed in a second. Any artists of any kind, if you'd like to do something on our live stream program and you'd like to be paid to do it, you have until the end of the day to get a proposal into us. Please do this. We have money from the Arts Council to support some local artists, so the pot is there to be used. Please propose things. And the second thing just to say is thank you guys all for watching. I'll be back tomorrow at midday talking to Mags from Comfort and Joy, which is also on the Triangle. It's a really Triangle-based week this week, which is lovely. So do check in and find out more about Comfort and Joy. That's it from us for today. Alison's lovely to chat to you. See you soon, I hope. Take care, everybody, and bye for now.
Bye, peeps.